Taking a look at our economy, we've all been reporting on the squeeze we're all feeling from rising inflation rates. It's driving up prices for everything. Food is no exception. And now local food banks like Long Island Cares are doing what they can, putting in that additional help for struggling families to get food on their tables. Long Island Cares, the Harry Chapin Regional Food Bank, serves those in need in Nassau and Suffolk counties. They support over 340 food pantries, soup kitchens, and shelters. Their programs address food insecurity, but also educating people about the causes and consequences of hunger. Let's now talk with Paule Pachter. He is the CEO of Long Island Cares. Paul, thanks for being with us.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me, Dana.
You are welcome. How did this food bank get started?
Well, the food bank was founded in 1980 by the late singer-songwriter Harry Chapin. Those people that knew Harry knew that he had a passion about calling attention to the issue of food insecurity and hunger, dedicated his life to it. And as you probably remember, in 1981, at 38 years old, we lost Harry.
Yes.
But the organization continues to thrive and working with over 218,000 people to provide emergency food assistance through both Nassau and Suffolk County, as you said, for over 350 community-based organizations, in addition to the education and the advocacy work that we're doing.
We will get to the education and advocacy. I want to speak, first of all, and yes, I do remember Harry Chapin's music and passions as the songs that he wrote. Let's talk about, since the beginning of the pandemic and as it's gone along, as the inflation rate, we've seen increases there. Tell us about the people who are coming to you for help, for food. What are they saying to you?
Well, if you look at the population that we serve on Long Island, the 218,000 people, about 40% of the population that come to the network are, our neighbors who are working, earning $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 for a family of four. And because of the cost of living on Long Island without inflation, they're finding themselves not able to put everything on the table. They're making difficult choices. Should I, take care of my car? Should I put gas in the car? Should I get my prescriptions filled? Or put food on our table. You mentioned about in the early days of COVID, for the first year and a half, we saw an additional 228,000 people here in Nassau and Suffolk in need of food.
Wow.
And as you highlighted at the top of the segment, we thought, we're looking at the numbers go down. There's no more, the panic that people had during COVID. But now with inflation, the numbers are starting to creep up again, and that's concerning us.
Last year, just numbers-wise, so our viewers can understand, you distributed more than 7.2 million pounds of food. That's a lot of food. What do you expect for this year? And speaking of inflation, what about the costs of that food, or is it all donated?
No, it's not all donated, and that's a wonderful question. What I think the general public may not know about food banks, all food banks across the country, is that we purchase about 70% of all the food that we distribute to our neighbors in need. We either do that with assistance from the USDA and the Emergency Food Assistance Program, which we manage for Long Island. The New York State Department of Health, we have a contract with them. That allows us to purchase food. And then, of course, the money that we raise every year, approximately $6 million. But 70% of the food that we distribute is purchased, as opposed to food drives or corporate donations just represent about 25%. What inflation has meant to us recently is about a 30 to 40% increase in the cost of the food that we're purchasing. And the example I can give you is within the last 3 years, we were paying anywhere between 79 to 89 cents per pound. Today, as a result of inflation, we're paying $1.35 a pound. And that's really taxing our resources.
That sure is. I can understand that. So you reach out, not only individual donors, but you're having an event this Sunday, March 6th. Could you tell us about this distribution event of meals?
Yes, the distribution event that we're doing in Huntington Station is part of the New York State Restaurant Resiliency Program that Governor Hochul implemented about 4 months ago. So in working right now with 36 Long Island-based restaurants, we're going to be providing this Sunday 4,000 prepared meals to families in Huntington Station. Through the Restaurant Resiliency Program, we really have been able to achieve the governor's objective, which was to begin to help bail out local restaurants that was so negatively impacted during COVID.
Yeah.
So that's a very special event for us, and we're looking forward to meeting the public and providing the meals.
And you know, this is all about dignity as well, Paul. Just before we leave, the conversations you have with people who are there.
Yeah, you know, hunger on Long Island and certainly across the United States is as close as your next door neighbor. You know, during COVID, people were furloughed, other people lost their jobs, and never thought that they'd be in a situation where they would have to go to a food pantry. But when people started to lose their paychecks, we realized that what we've been saying all along, and I think I've heard you say it many times, average Americans are about one paycheck away from losing everything should there be a catastrophe like a pandemic or, you know, a hurricane. And that's what we see. We see families who are struggling. We see veterans. We see seniors who are living, you know, alone, all trying to stretch their dollars. But as a result of inflation, if you go to a local supermarket today, the price is up between 16 and 20% to buy food. So people are making choices, and we are anticipating an uptick again in the number of people coming to Long Island Cares for food assistance.
Paule Pachter, CEO of the Long Island Cares Food Bank, we thank you for being with us and also salute you for the good work you're doing. The Long Island Cares Food Bank's meal distribution event is Sunday, March 6th at 3 p.m. at St. Hugh of Lincoln Church. That's at 21 East 9th Street in Huntington Station. And this event will happen rain or shine. For more information about the food bank, go to our website, cbsnewyork.com.